So this is the way we prepare the trial balance. But now there is one question. And what is that question? That if we do not, if we, suppose in the question ledger accounts are not given. Right now we have no ledger accounts. This ledger is there. So with the help of these ledger accounts we can easily prepare this trial balance. Isn't it? But sometimes suppose in the sometimes in the question they gave that only the name of the account and the balance amount. They didn't tell that it is debit balance or credit balance. Let me tell you. Suppose in the question they gave like this, that in the ledger salary account is there and it is showing balance 10,000. Okay, this is the amount of balance. We don't know that it is debit balance or credit balance. And at the top you do not have the account also. This type of account is also not given in the question. Getting my point? Listen again. See, if you have the account, then you can easily compute balance debit or credit, isn't it? If I give you this account, suppose in the question if I give you this salary account, okay, so you can easily compute that it is debit or credit balance, isn't it? But now the question is what? In the examination they gave only just that salary account is there and its balance is 1000. Getting my point? Now you have to decide that this balance $10,000, it is debit balance or credit balance. This is the question. Okay, now it means I am going to explain you how to identify balance, that which account showing which balance. If we do not have ledger, then how we will identify that salary account will show debit balance or it will show credit balance? How we will identify that? Getting my point? Now see, very simple. I explained you 3 rules na: personal, real, nominal. Yeah, I taught you na the 3 rules: rule of personal account, rules of real account, rules of nominal account. Getting my point? So those rules we have to apply in determining that which account is showing debit balance or which account is showing credit balance. Okay, now let's see one example. Suppose this is the salary account. In the question it is given that salary account is there in the ledger and it's showing balance 1000. Now tell me, it is debit balance or credit balance? See, salary is expense or income? Expense na. Now tell me what is the, and salary we know that it is nominal account. It is expense, so obviously it is nominal account. And what nominal account says? That debit all expenses and losses, and salary is expense, so it will show always debit balance. So what is the conclusion? That salary account showing this 1000 balance. This is the balance of salary account and it is debit balance. Why? Because salary is expense and expenses are always debited as per the rule of nominal account. Isn't it? Now see one more account I am giving you. Suppose rent received. Suppose rent received 500. Tell me, in the question what given? That in the ledger there is rent received account and it is showing balance how much? 500. Now tell me, it is debit balance or credit balance? Rent received showing balance 500. This is the balance of this rent received account. Okay, balance amount. Now we are to decide it is debit or credit balance. It is debit balance or credit balance? Rent received is nominal and it is in income. We got the rent, so it is income. And as per nominal account, credit all incomes and gains, isn't it? So this 500 balance is which one? Credit balance. This is credit balance. Okay, now one more account I am giving you. Suppose in the question given that there is bad debts account. Which account? Bad debts account, and showing balance $2000. In the ledger there is which account? Bad debts account, and showing which balance? 2000. Now we are to decide that it is debit or credit. Tell, it is debit balance or credit balance? No, bad debts, again it is debit balance, because bad debts is loss na. So, and losses are always debited as per the rule of nominal account, debit all expenses and losses. Getting my point? One more example we will take. Suppose if there is one account, purchase. Which account? Purchase account, and it is showing balance 50,000. This is the balance amount. Getting my point? Account name is purchase and it is showing balance 50,000. Now we have to decide it is debit or credit. Yeah, absolutely it is debit balance. Purchase is a real account. Purchase represent goods. Getting my point? Purchase represent to whom? To goods, and goods is real account. And tell me, when we purchase goods, so goods are coming in the business or goods are going from the business? Purchase means goods are coming, and goods are coming, it means goods is a real account, and goods are coming in the business, so real account says that debit what comes in. So what is the conclusion? That purchase account showing balance 50,000 and it is which balance? Debit balance. Now see one more. Suppose sales account. Sales account showing balance 60,000. Tell me, debit or credit? Getting my point? So sale account showing balance 60,000 and it is which balance? Credit balance. Because sales means we are selling goods. Goods are going from the business. So credit what? Goes out. Clear? So in this manner we will decide that the balance given in the question, that the account and the balance, that is debit balance or credit balance. Okay? Now see one more. I will take example. Suppose capital account. Suppose in the ledger, in the question it is given that in the ledger there is capital account and it is showing balance 20,000. Tell me, debit or credit? Now let me tell you. Now capital means owner giving us na something. Owner giving na money. So this is owners. This is owner's account actually. Capital account is representing to whom? Owner. And owner is giving na 20,000. And so credit the giver, as per the rule of personal account, credit the giver. Okay, so that's why capital account always shows which balance? Credit balance. Because capital means owner giving something to the business. So as owner is giving, so personal account says that credit the giver. So that's why capital account always shows which balance? Credit balance. Okay, now let's take one more example. Suppose drawings. Suppose in the ledger there is drawings account and showing balance 2000. Tell me, it is debit or credit? This account also represent to the owner and this is also representing to the owner. And capital means owner giving us, and drawing means owner taking from the business. Okay. So owner is taking how much amount? 2000. So debit the receiver. Owner is receiving na this money. Owner is taking money from the business. So for business, owner is what? Owner is receiver. He is taking money from the business. So debit the receiver. So drawings account always shows which balance? Debit balance. Okay. Now let's take one more example. So understood the idea how to determine that the balance given in the question is debit or credit. Okay. Now let's take one more example. Suppose motor car or motor vehicle. Suppose in the ledger there is account motor car and it's showing balance how much? 1 lakh, $1 lakh. Now tell me, it is debit balance or credit balance? So it is a real account. So debit what comes in? Because we purchased this motor car, obviously that's why this motor car is in the business. Until and unless we purchase motor car, how come motor car is there in the business? So obviously we have purchased this motor car, isn't it? So motor car is coming or going in the business? Coming na, and real account says that debit what comes in. And one more thing, motor car is our assets, isn't it? Motor car is our assets, and assets always shows debit balance. Remember this. Whatever assets we have, assets always show which balance? Debit balance. Okay. Yeah. Now see one more account. Suppose furniture account. Suppose furniture account and it is showing balance 5,000. Tell me, it is debit or credit? It is debit balance or credit balance? Tell. Yeah. Because we purchased na this furniture. So furniture is coming in the business and it is debit balance. Okay. And one more thing, that furniture is also our asset. So an asset always show which balance? Debit balance. Now one more important account I am going to discuss. Suppose cash. Suppose in the question it is given that there is cash account in the ledger. Which account? Cash account. And it is showing balance. How much balance? 10,000. Now tell me, it is debit balance or credit balance? So see, this is the cash, this is the name of the account, and what is the balance? 10,000, and we are to determine it is debit or credit. Yeah, absolutely correct. Cash account, remember, cash account will always show debit balance. This is the correct answer. Okay. And one more thing, that cash account will never show credit balance. Remember this. Cash account will never show credit balance. Getting my point? Cash account will always shows which balance? Debit balance. It will not show, it will never show credit balance. Getting my point? Now why? Why? See, understand the logic. Suppose this is the cash account in the ledger. This is the cash account. Okay. There is one transaction started business with cash dollar 5,000. So this is the transaction. Now tell me, what entry you will pass for this transaction? For this transaction, obviously you will pass this entry now. Cash debit, cash account debit 5,000 and capital account credit, isn't it? So this is the entry. Then after journal, you will make posting of this entry in the ledger. Okay. Now in the ledger, first you will make posting in which account? In the cash account. Now see, in this entry, cash account debited, so posting will take place on the debit side. This is the debit side. So on debit side, I will write the amount 5,000, and then I will write the name of the opposite account, and the name of the opposite account is capital account. Okay. Now tell me, cash account is showing which balance? Debit balance or credit balance? This is our cash account. Tell me, it is showing which balance? Debit or credit? Yeah, it is showing debit balance because total of debit is 5,000 and total of credit is 0. So it means cash account showing debit balance. How much? 5,000. Okay. Now if I ask you that how much cash do you have right now? How much cash is there? 5,000. 5,000 is there na? Owner invested 5,000 in the business. So if I ask you that how much amount is, how much cash is there in the business? How much cash is there in the business? Obviously 5,000. Now tell me, out of 5,000, can you pay 6,000? If you have 5,000, then out of 5,000, can you pay 6,000? Yes or no? Can you pay 6,000? Because you have only 5,000. So up to 5,000 you can pay. You can't pay beyond 5,000. No? Getting my point? Now see, one more transaction I am taking. See that transaction. Suppose paid is salary. The next transaction is what? Our next transaction is paid salary. Yeah. This is our next transaction, paid salary. Paid salary dollar, 4,000. Suppose. Now what entry you will pass? For this transaction, what entry you will pass? So salary is expense na. So the entry is what? Salary account will be debited, debit all expenses. And cash gone na, so cash account will be credited, credit what goes out. So this is the entry. Now in this entry, cash account credited, so this entry will be posted on the credit side of cash account. Cash account credited, so on its credit side write down the amount 4,000. Okay. Now the name of the opposite account is salary. Done. Now tell me, after this posting, what is the balance of cash account? What is the balance of cash account now? Cash account showing how much balance? 1,000. And it is debit balance or credit? Yeah, it is showing debit balance now 1,000. Getting my point? Okay. Earlier cash account was showing balance how much? 5,000. Earlier it was showing 5,000 balance, debit balance. But now after paying salary, cash account is showing how much balance? Debit balance but 1,000. Earlier also it was showing debit balance but not 1,000, 5,000. But now it also showing debit balance but not 5,000. How much? Only 1,000. Getting my point? Now suppose in place of 4,000, if I pay 6,000, suppose credit balance. then only it will show na, if I pay 6,000, then only it will show na credit balance 1,000. But it is not possible, as we discussed earlier, that whatever cash we have, we will pay only up to that amount. We can't pay more than 5,000. Getting my point? If we pay more than, if it is possible, then only it will show credit balance. Getting my point? But we know that it is not possible. We know that we can't pay more than 5,000. Whatever cash we have, we can pay only up to that amount, isn't it? So it is not possible for us to pay 6,000. Okay, so we will pay either only 5,000 or we will pay only 4,000. Okay, so cash account, if we pay 4,000, then cash account will show how much balance? 1,000, and it is debit balance. Okay, so what is the conclusion? That cash account never shows credit balance. Cash account never shows credit balance. Why? Because we can't pay more than that what we have. So that's why cash account never shows credit balance. Cash account will always shows debit balance. Okay, getting my point? See, 5,000 minus 4,000, so the balance is 1,000 and it is debit balance. Getting my point? So understood this topic. One more account I am going to discuss, bank account. See, now the new, suppose bank account and showing balance how much? 5,000. Now tell me, it is debit or credit balance? Debit balance. Very good. And if I say that bank overdraft is there and the amount is 5,000, now tell me, it is debit or credit? It is credit balance. Okay, you know how come it is credit balance? See, this is the bank account, this is the bank account. In the ledger, this is the bank account. Okay, now see the transaction. This is our transaction. Opened a current account, into a bank with a dollar 6,000. So this is the transaction. Okay, now for this transaction, what entry you will pass? For this transaction, see what entry I will pass. I will pass this entry: bank account debit 6,000 and cash account credit. So this is the entry. From the business, money gone, so credit what goes out, and money goes where? In the bank. So bank is a personal account, so debit the receiver. Okay, now see, this entry will be posted on which side of the bank account? Bank account is debited in the entry. In the entry, bank account debited, isn't it? So this in the bank account, this entry will be posted on the debit side. Bank account debited, that's why on the debit side first I will write the amount 6,000 and then I will write the name of the opposite account, cash account. Okay, now tell me, bank account showing which balance? Bank account is showing debit balance na, and this debit balance is known as what? Bank balance. This is called bank balance, 6,000. Okay, so it means that if in the question it is given that bank balance, so we are to assume that it is debit balance. See, debit balance na, total of debit side is 6,000 and total of credit side is 0. So bank account is showing balance, debit balance how much? 6,000, and it is known as what? Bank balance. Bank balance means bank account showing debit balance. Okay, now see, in the bank account, is it possible to pay more than what we deposited in the account? Right now, how much amount is there in my account? Yeah, in my account there is 6,000. Is it possible for me to pay more than this 6,000 from my bank account due to bank overdraft facility? Bank overdraft means this is one facility actually given by the bank, and in this facility, see, you can pay more than what is deposited in your account. How much? Whatever amount is deposited in your account, more than that you can make the payment. Now see what I am passing there, one more transaction I am conducting. So it means in bank it is possible na to pay more than what we have in the account, In the bank it is possible. So see, one transaction I am conducting. See the transaction. Now see, paid salary, paid salary, paid salary by check, paid salary by check $8,000. Understood? This is the transaction. Now tell me, we are paying salary. How much? 8,000. But in our account there is only 6,000. So see what entry we will pass for this. And this is our transaction, and see the entry for this transaction. So salary is expense, so I will debit the salary account. Salary account will be debited with 8,000. And as we issued the check, it means payment will take place from our account. So bank account will be credited. Credit the giver. Salary is expense, so debit all expenses. And who will pay this money? 8,000. Our account will pay na on our behalf. So credit the giver. Credit the giver. It is nominal. Debit all expenses. Bank is personal. So credit the giver. Okay. Now tell me, in the entry bank account debited or credited? So posting will take place on the credit side. So on the credit side, first I will write the amount 8,000, and then I will write the name of the opposite account, salary. Okay. Now tell me, salary, this bank account will show debit balance or credit balance? Yeah, credit balance. How much? 2,000, isn't it? And this credit balance is not bank balance. Now we will not call it bank balance. Now its name is what? Bank overdraft. Bank overdraft. Okay. Now bank, we are owing 2,000 to the bank. We are to pay 2,000 to the bank. Why? Because in our account earlier there was 6,000, and on our behalf bank paid 8,000. It means now we are owing 2,000 to the bank. We have to pay 2,000 to the bank. Okay. Because bank paid 2,000 on our behalf na, to the party, to that employee. We had balance only 6,000, but we issued check 8,000. So it means bank paid extra 2,000 on our behalf. So now we are owing this 2,000 to the bank, and this is called bank overdraft. Okay. Now what is the final conclusion? That if in the question it is given that bank balance 6,000, so it means it is debit balance. If bank balance is written, it means it is debit balance. But if in place of bank balance it is written bank overdraft, suppose in the question it is written bank overdraft, so it means it is credit balance. Okay. If bank balance is written in the question, then it is debit, and if bank overdraft is written in the question, then bank overdraft means credit balance, credit balance of the bank account. Yeah, so see one question now we are going to solve. See, this type of question will be there. These are the ledger accounts, and these are their balances. Ledger account and their balances, but we don't know that it is debit or credit. We have to determine. And in the question we have to prepare what they asked. We have to prepare trial balance. Okay. So this is the format of trial balance. So what is the question? We have to prepare trial balance, and these are the ledger accounts, and these are the balances. Okay. Now see, I am going to prepare the trial balance. Now see, in the question, which is the first account? So first I will put the serial number, then the name of the account, capital account. And what is the balance amount? 70,000, isn't it? Now tell me, it is debit balance or credit balance? It is debit or credit? Yeah, credit balance. Because owner is giving the money, so credit the giver. So we will write this amount in the credit column. Okay. Now tell me, which is the second account? Yeah, purchase account. And what is the balance? 50,000. No, its balance is how much? 50,000. And purchase means goods are coming na. So it is showing debit balance. Debit what comes in? 50,000. Agree? Now third account, tell me which is the third account in the question. Purchase return. Purchase return, it means earlier we purchased and now we are returning. So goods are coming or going? So credit what goes out. So this 2000 I will write in the credit column. Okay. Now tell me fourth account, which one? Sales. And no, sales, not sales returns. First sales. Now what is the balance? 60,000. Now tell me debit or credit? Yeah, sale means we are selling the goods are going na, so credit what goes out. So this 60,000 we will write in the credit column. Agree? Now next account, tell me which is the next account. Sale return. Sales return means earlier we sold and now customers are returning, so we are getting back na the goods. Earlier we sold and now we are getting back that goods, so goods are coming na, so debit what comes in? 5,000. Debit what comes in. Okay. Now next account is which one? Cash. And I told you that cash always shows debit balance. I explained na. So 2000 debit balance. Now next account is which one? Bank balance. And just now I told you that if bank balance is there, it means it is debit balance. So put 1000 in the debit column. Okay. Now next account is which one? Debtors. No, debtors. Debtors means, what do you understand by debtors? Debtors means we sold goods to them na. Debtors means these are our customers. We gave goods to them, so debit the receiver. They are receiving the goods. Agree? So debit the receiver. What is the amount? 3,000. 3,000 is the amount. Yeah. Now next account is which one? Drawings. Drawings means owner taking something on it. Yeah, so debit the receiver. 10,000. This is owner's owner's personal account. Debit the receiver. Okay. Now next account is which one? Opening stock. You know opening stock, the goods is laying in our business on the first day. That is opening, and opening stock always show debit balance. Okay. So put the amount in debit column. Later on in detail we will discuss that why opening stock shows always debit balance. Later on we will discuss. Okay. Now next account is which one? Salary. And salary is expense na. And no, expenses are always debited. So 3,000 we will write in the debit column. Then after salary, tell me next account. Bad debts. And bad debts is loss. Okay. So yeah, well done. 1000 debit. And after bad debts, tell me next account. Rent received. Rent received is our income. Rent received is in yeah, so this 4,000 we will write in the credit column, rent received. And after rent received, tell me next account. Discount allowed. So discount allowed is our loss na. No, discount allowed is loss. We allowed discount, so it is loss to us. So debit. Now after discount allowed, tell me next account. Yes, so just wait a minute, there is lack of space, so I will extend this trial balance. Okay, I will extend it. Just wait a minute. So tell me which is our next account? Discount received, isn't it? Yeah, see 14 number, now 15 number. So first we will write the number 15, number 15, and discount received. And what is the balance? 300. No, discount received 300. Okay, and discount received is income, isn't it? So it will show credit balance. Income always show credit balance, isn't it? So we will write this 300 in the credit column. Okay. Now next account, tell me which is our next account. Our next account is creditors, and creditors means from whom we purchase the goods on credit basis. They are supplier actually. So and they gave us goods now. So credit the giver. They are giving us goods. So credit the giver. How much? 7900. So creditors I will write in the credit column. Creditors. So 7900 in the credit column. And one more thing, see, creditors start with C na. C is the first letter. So it means credit balance. Remember this. Okay. Yeah. Now next account is which one? Next and last account. Motor car. Isn't it? Motor car, and it is motor vehicle, you can say motor car, and it is our asset na. So it is showing which balance? Debit balance. Asset always show debit balance. So this amount I will write in debit column. So motor car, first write down the name motor car, and 68,000 debit. Done. Okay, now I will make the total of both the column, and total must be equal. Okay, so first I am going to make the total of debit column. Now see, I am going to make the total of debit column. Okay, now see, first amount how much? 50,000. Next amount 5,000 in the debit column. Yeah, next amount 2,000. See here 2,000 na. So 2,000. Next 1,000. Yeah, you just tell me the amount. 1,000. Next, yeah, 3,000. Next, yeah, 10,000. Next, yeah, 1,000. Next, 3,000. Next, 1,000. Next, yeah, 200. So till what is the total? 76,200 on this page. Now let's see on the next page. On the next page, 68,000 more na, on the debit side. 68,000. Earlier the total was actually 76,200. No, 76,200 was the total na earlier, and now we are to add 68,000 more. On the next page there is 60,000 in the debit column. So what is the final total? 1,44,200. This is the final total of the debit column. Is that clear? Now see, I am writing this final total on the debit column. So this final total, see, I am going to write 1 lakh. Wait a minute. 1,44,200. This is the total of debit. Okay. Now see total of credit. What is the total of credit? Okay. So tell me the amount. What is the amount? First amount 70,000. Credit side 70,000. Next amount, tell me. 2,000. Okay. Next 60,000. Next, yeah, 4,000. So what is the total of this page? 1,36,000. Okay. So you just remember, I am writing here 1,36,000 is the total of this page. Now let's see what is there on the credit column. In the credit column, so see, in the credit column, what is the total? First I am rewriting here. I am rewriting the total of the previous page. 1,36,000 na. The total of the previous page 1,36,000 plus. Now what is the next item? 300 na in the debit column. So plus 300. Next 79. So 7,900. So see what is the grand total. What is the grand total? No, 1,44,200. Okay. So now tell me, total are coming same na? Total of both the columns. Yeah, they are the same. It means my ledger is arithmetically accurate. Is that clear? So understood today's topic.